that can manifest more because of a lack of glutathione. For example, reduced glutathione can contribute to asthma, things like asthma. And again, I'm just reminding everybody, I'm not making any claims of our product. I'm just saying what glutathione is known to do. It also can contribute to what's called COPD or emphysema, and which actually leads to scar tissue in the lungs. Pulmonary fibrosis, another form of a lung disease that relates to the lungs begin to scar. All of these diseases are rooted in inflammation in the lung tissue, too much oxidation, too much damage of the tissues, and then there's a whole possible trajectory of what happens after that. The tissue gets damaged. There's different stages of disease. In Ayurveda, we say there's 6 stages of disease. Once the tissue gets damaged enough, then it's a whole nother ball game, because now the body is protecting itself, but the tissue stiffens, it scars, calcium builds up in the tissue, things harden, and the lungs no longer work efficiently or effectively. So things like viruses, viruses that we've had over the last few years, all of these things cause a great deal of oxidation in the body. So what is the greatest protector of oxidation? Glutathione. So we're very, very fortunate that we have a product that is so incredibly efficient in giving us not only glutathione itself, but the precursors cysteine and things like turmeric, and wonderful ingredient in a form that the body can utilize instantly and immediately. So that's just a little bit of basics. Now, I want to just touch on one thing. I'm pretty passionate about this, is that we can take a substance like our incredible product, but we don't want to think of it like a drug. We want to think of it as something that can enhance the quality of our life. And guess what? If we eat well, if we moderately exercise and detoxify with our breath and our sweat, and we drop the junk food for the most part, maybe at different events throughout the year, but drop the junk food. If we hydrate nicely, if we eat relatively clean, and as I recommend, do some kind of cleanse once or twice a year, guess what? You're going to get so much more out of any wonderful product like ours that we already have. So we shouldn't think, oh, taking this product gives me license to forget about quality food, quality lifestyle, healthy breathing, healthy exercise, natural and supported detoxification. Because the world that we're living in right now, we have over 100,000 chemicals known in our environment. Only 20,000 of those have ever been tested for human safety, and none of them are ever tested for synergistically and working together. So it's really, really important to take the right nutrients, take our incredible products, and at the same time take care of ourselves. That's really, really important. And so wherever you're at, always lean into eating healthier. Always lean in, if you like your alcohol, always lean into less is better. Take care of your liver, take care of your blood, take care of your glutathione supplies. Because anytime we add these negative things into our diet, guess what? We're using up our glutathione stores. That's what we're doing. If you go out and eat like horribly on a Friday night and you take your product in the morning, then you're just dealing with the oxidation that you caused the night before. It's not gonna put you in the positive necessarily immediately, because you're dealing with the oxidation, the stress, the inflammation that you've caused the day before. So I'm mentioning that because that is a huge passion of mine. So the other thing is, this thing about iron is so important. Again, iron, a lot of times people think, oh, I'm low iron, so therefore I need to take iron. A lot of times people are low iron because their liver is toxic and their body is holding on to iron in the organs of the body due to inflammation, and not releasing it into the red blood cells. So taking iron often will make someone feel better for a week or two, and then they'll start getting more toxic. The real thing is to help the liver, help the blood, help the lungs, increase the stores of glutathione, and then you're going to start utilizing that iron more effectively and more efficiently. That's so important. So now I want to touch on a little bit of Chinese medicine and Ayurveda. It's a beautiful perspective. So in Chinese medicine and Ayurveda, it's described that the lungs receive the pure qi from the heavens. And what the heck does that mean? This is the description. So the lungs receive pure energy. What is that energy? It's in the form of air. Now, when we breathe properly, when we breathe in, when you breathe nicely, what happens? We tend to be more present in the moment. If you're holding your breath, generally speaking, we're either thinking about something in the past or worried about something in the future. So when we regulate the breathing process, it helps us get present. So good breathing and healthy lungs with the support of our incredible product can help us actually be more present. That might sound crazy, but that's the reality. Healthy breathing, healthy lungs helps us be more present. And I'm sure you've all experienced that, whether it's been through, even if you go for a nice run, or sometimes we get in a swim, you get into a groove, all of a sudden you feel that really pleasant, sometimes blissful feeling of being really present. Or just you're going for a walk and your breathing is nice and free and open, then you're really present, you're really in the moment. So it brings in really healthy energy. It brings in energy that helps us to be present. It's described that the lung energy helps us appreciate the preciousness of the moment. And it's actually described like this, even during mundane activities, like doing the dishes or making the bed or brushing your teeth, all the ordinary activities of life, which sometimes can feel like drudgery. But if you're actually in the moment, if you're breathing, if you're connected to yourself, then those activities actually can be quite pleasant. So the lungs are so important physically, mentally, emotionally, and even spiritually. It's described like that. So there's also another interesting component here, because the lungs are directly related to the large intestine. Okay, we call that the vata energy, or what's called the metal element in Chinese medicine. So the lungs bring in pure qi, pure energy, pure life energy. And what does the large intestine do? It releases that which doesn't serve us. So physically, we're releasing the non-nutrient part of the food that we've eaten. Okay, but we're also releasing. This is from a ancient wisdom perspective. We're releasing negativity. We're releasing toxic emotions. It's about letting go. So the lungs are about bringing in that which is wonderful, and the large intestine is about letting go that's not needed. In these systems of medicine, we're always looking at from physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual levels. So sometimes we have an experience and it may be very challenging emotionally, but when we digest it and process it, what happens? Then we can let it go. So